and I guess it's always important to just keep moving. Just had to share that with you. You know, I'm always open and transparent with the audience. Good morning, TNT. Welcome as we start the day. Today, Tuesday, of course, the 28th day of October 2025. Jason Williams signing on. Great to see Nakisha back with us. A couple of days to just, rest and reflect. And we are set and ready to go. Lots to talk about this morning. Of course, yesterday's program, if you recall, a couple of very passionate conversations with some of my regular callers, and I look forward again today to continue. So I want Shigonas and, of course, my friends from Tabakit and Faizo and all those who are regular callers to continue with their particular talking point, because obviously yesterday, just in the interest of time, we had to move on and bring some more people in the fold. But there are some new developments, and I'd really love to hear from you later on today, Trinidad and Tobago, because as we consider what's happening in our space, the Southern Caribbean, the geopolitical dance that's happening, the chess play that's, we're watching the moves. We've seen where Venezuela, they have decided to, based on what was established yesterday, cut the gas lines, and that's what we are presenting this morning via the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian. That's right, the front page says Maduro cuts gas lines amid escalating tensions. So, the Presidente of Venezuela, Venezuelan president suspends energy deals with TNT, but our Prime Minister, the Honorable Kamala Persad-Bissessar, she warns her government will not be blackmailed. That story, of course, develops on page 5. A couple of major talking points coming out of this breaking news story. Now, page 4 suggests here, and the Venezuelans, at least ministers on their side, they are urging TNT not to be used as pawn by U.S. Of course, the Prime Minister, she put forward her position. She says no one will pressure us. Of course, the opposition, with the likes of opposition leader Penelope Beckles and Stuart Young, Member of Parliament. They're blaming the government. They're calling the latest announcement and development, quote, deeply concerning and unfortunate. Also, the Prime Minister weighing in on the CARICOM response and suggesting that CARICOM sided with Venezuela, right? She is putting that particular statement out there, so even CARICOM in the mix. Now, this is the Vice President there on screen, a very vocal critic towards our Prime Minister. And our Prime Minister, at least in the earlies, would have been very vocal in terms of her support and some of the utterances and commentary, less than complimentary, but I must say, in all fairness, I did see a toning down, as it were, with the PM within recent times with the interview. I mean, yesterday, obviously, I think it was a misstep to call out CARICOM. Obviously, we made our decision early while CARICOM was suggesting this is a zone of peace and let's meet and let's have a collective voice. We decided, at least via our Prime Minister, to stand away from CARICOM. So if CARICOM, they are taking a particular position, policy position now, we can't throw up our hands in the air. I mean, it's expected, because we kind of said that, we said we didn't care, and we said we were going to stand alone. Again, I'm not making this up. This would have been the position of our Prime Minister and clearly the government. So I found the CARICOM scenario to be, rather unfortunate, and I hope that there could be at least some communication and sorting out of that particular matter. Because we are in this together, obviously, whether there are different positions from different leaders. The fact is, I think we are better off with a collective voice as opposed to standing alone. Yes, we are all independent nations, but we are definitely dependent on each other because we're so small. When you're small, you're stronger together, obviously. I mean, that is understood. But nonetheless, this development, another day of uncertainty, some interesting times. So much so, people in the Southland, because of the fear of war, a lot of people on the ground, there are those who are going about the business, their own business. Wednesday could fall on a Sunday as far as they're concerned. But for those who are monitoring the news cycle and looking at what's happening, not only here at home, but listening to the utterances of some of the leading senators there in the U.S., where it was suggested on Sunday that when President Trump is finished with his Asia tour, there's going to be this new push towards a ground engagement. And this is on the heels of aircraft carrier, the USS Gerald R. Ford, which is the largest on the globe, as we know, leaving, not this, I mean, this is the one that came on Sunday. This is joke. This is, I mean, yes, Venezuela sees this as a provocation, and this ship is really, this is, trust me, this is not a talking point here, really and truly. Even though, again, it is, yes, we are accommodating the ship and they're doing the training and they'll be gone in a couple of days, but we're talking about an aircraft carrier that could house warplane and submarine, and it's a massive staff, millions I would imagine, to keep that thing running in the ocean, and it's sailing from the whole next side of the world and coming into the Caribbean Sea. This is what we're talking about. Look at this monster. This is on its way to the southern Caribbean waters, and you mean to tell me, I want folks, I mean, listen, let us be independent thinkers this morning. Let's make sense out of nonsense. And I just sit here and I try to challenge myself and challenge the nation for us to think. Do you believe, honestly, that this kind of response is ready to fight drugs? No, sir, don't do that. That is equivalent of you telling me, Jason, boy, I have a mouse in the living room, and I show up with an AR-15 to kill it. To me, this is clear overkill. This is way too much. If this is a flexing of military muscle, well, this is the greatest military flex we have seen in modern history. To just what? You're going to sail this and just have it parked, have it docked, just floated around for how long? To do what? So there are many, because of this development and all what's happening, far removed from our shores and close to our shores, and with the bombing of the pirogues, who are anticipating there will be a military engagement, boots on the ground, that could be a quick turnover, they extract and get Maduro out, or it could be days, weeks, months of engagement, which indeed now will put us in a kind of monkey pants, because there are so many possibilities, multiple limbs of consideration if that was to take place. Now again, that's not the reality today, and I'm not here to fearmonger, to fan the flame of uncertainty. I mean, it's only apparent. We don't want that kind of energy here today, tomorrow, ever. But there are many, because of what's happening, and I guess leaning on the side of caution. The stockpiling, food essentials, yes, you think it easy. On page 7, you're seeing the story here. Fear of war sparks stockpiling of food and essentials in South Trinidad. People going in the grocery and is toilet paper, buy water, buy rice, buy flour, buy oil. Well, you know, toilet paper for some reason goes first, right? People tend to rush. Two things are rushed. They rush toilet paper and bread. Go figure. But nonetheless, that story on page 7. I'm also watching where the business and the chambers and the different, you know, entities like Vivek Sharan from the Confederation of Regional Business Chambers. You're seeing Couva Point Lisa's Chamber of Commerce president, economists weighing in, AmCham weighing in, even the chief secretary weighing in. People are asking for peace amid rising U.S.-Venezuela friction. Business groups call for calm as Caracas ends gas deal with TNT. Everybody now raising their voice and saying, listen, all here. Let's lower the temperature in this room. The place getting a little hot. And there is this feeling of, really, we're not too sure what next week, next month will bring. Again, if this is just a military flex, if this is to really, well, the argument, and I guess that is what our administration and Prime Minister would have said initially. It was never, honestly, a support of a war, but she said it's a support of their anti-drug trafficking push, and also we took this stance of solidarity with Guyana in case Venezuela touched Guyana. That was something we established from the onset. It's morphing into something that could be beyond what was established, and we have been seeing this from day one. This particular blueprint, this particular screenplay, we have seen it before, where the U.S. will go in and there's a particular policy position at the start, and when it hit the fan, he realized it was a whole different objective. So in that regard, you know, we stand by, we hold on. We hope that there is a chance for communication. Our top brass with Venezuela. We hope there's a chance for major communication and diplomacy. Our top brass here in government and CARICOM. I think we need to be on the same page. And of course, you know, the situation with our relations with the U.S., which it's always been cordial. And obviously our biggest trading partner, clearly, a ship coming into the port is nothing new. We have seen that before. I would imagine this particular scenario with the ship that docked on Sunday, folks are looking at the timing and just the general mood and atmosphere in the region because of all what's happening via the geopolitical landscape. Yes, this particular dock, this positioning, many, you know, they see it through a different lens, but in reality, we have been in collaboration. There's been that cross-border work, that synergy, as it were, with the U.S. for many years. So a ship being docked, there's nothing new. But I guess it's just the timing. Timing is always important. Timing, tone, and tenor. These are things that are very important, especially when it comes to leadership. Now, so much so, we are hearing there was, well, at least the request is being put in for an extension of the SOE for 6 more months. So the SOE to be extended 6 months, says the Prime Minister. That story here on page 8. And in that regard, the Police Association, the head is actually urging and putting in some, at least request for consideration for the officers who will have to carry out this extended SOE. And while all this is happening, our brothers and sisters in Jamaica are currently in the eye of the storm, dealing with Hurricane Melissa, rain and wind for so. We were checking with the videos and checking with someone from Jamaica tribe for sure during the course of it. And just show you some more footage that emerged yesterday. Some very concerning footage too. Yeah, Jamaicans, just like Trinis, we are a bit different and we take lots of these serious matters very light. Whether that's a good or a bad thing, you will be the judge and jury in that regard. Let's head to the back page because it's women's football action. And I'm seeing Courtney leads the charge against the Reggae Girls. There's going to be a practice game, TNT and the Reggae Girls. Of course, you know, the Angus Eve, the coach, the manager, the gaffer, he left. So there's going to be someone new at the helm. There's going to be an interim person at this point in time. But indeed, we kind of stand by to see how things would pan out with our senior women's national team. Well, some basketball action there, obviously, you know, NBA preseason. They're getting into the fold. We had to debrief on this Tuesday morning, and we're looking at some action from Carnival in Tobago. Yes, a traditional sailor doing his thing, moving along there with the Trinidad All-Stars Steel Orchestra. Well done. And also, one of our top hotels named in TripAdvisor's top 10. Kudos to the entire team there. This hotel in Grand Riviere. Never saw it, never got a chance to go in, but hopefully someday very soon. But I've heard great reviews of this amazing property there. Well, we take the pause, we come back, and because of what's happening via all the military flexing, we want to welcome, after the break, the former National Security Minister, Brigadier General retired Brigadier General Carl Alfonso joins me as we treat with the U.S.-Venezuela tensions and the military presence in the area. As mentioned, Brigadier General Carl Alfonso joins me next.
Magical Expressions Limited is the largest local importer and distributor of fresh cut stems, offering the widest range of beautiful flowers at the most affordable prices. Call us today at 701-6488, 701-6680, 728-6786, or visit our website to order. Gaming Express Limited is a premium importer and retailer of the highest quality brand name electronics. We stock the widest range of PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, Samsung, and Apple devices and accessories. Visit us at Shop 52, Level 2, Gulf City Mall in San Fernando, or contact us by phone or WhatsApp message at 687-7480, or 301-9797, or 798-1280. Like our Facebook and Instagram pages for updates on products and services. We are your one-stop, most convenient, most helpful, most caring community pharmacy. Our pharmaceutical services include dispensing medicines, repeat dispensing, clinical governance. But we also have a fully stocked convenience store featuring our refreshment aisle, grocery lane, personal care products, toys, pet supplies. We are most conveniently located out of the traffic, just 2 minutes off the highway in Heartland Plaza in Deba Chaguanas. Contact us on 220-8705 or 470-5938 and visit us soon.
Visit Tire Clinic Marketing, New Truck and OTR Tire Service Center at number 30 and 32 Montrose Main Road, Chaguanas. Call today at 665-8973 or 672-3419. Alignment services available. Tire Clinic Marketing, Truck and OTR Service Center. A tire for every need.
Advance your career and increase your earning potential with the University of Bedfordshire's MBA program at CTS College. This UK-accredited MBA is globally and ACTT recognized and is the most affordable in Trinidad and Tobago. With 6 intakes per year and the option to study 1 unit at a time, you can complete the general MBA or one of 6 specializations in 12 months. And with flexible entry requirements and payment options, students with various backgrounds can enroll. Contact CTS College today and find out how you can get $12,000 off.
So great to have a man of, such military experience, many years of military experience, to really give some clarity to this particular moment. I want to welcome on the phone line retired Brigadier General Carl Alfonso. Of course, always a pleasure to hear your voice, Brigadier General, and great to have you on the program this morning.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, great to hear you. Thank you so much for the time. Looking forward for the perspective. Are you concerned with the current military buildup and more so the arrival in a couple days of the USS Gerald R. Ford, which would have been described as the largest aircraft carrier in the U.S. Military lineup? Does this raise any particular alarm bells in your mind, Brigadier General?
It certainly does. As a military person, I'm excited to see it. As a Trini, as an ordinary local Trini, I am concerned, of course.
Mm-hmm. And do you, again, obviously, is this a military flexing, as it were, because the reasoning so far is that obviously this is to combat drug trafficking and the narco trade route and all that.
Yes.
To bring a vessel of that magnitude to the region, I would imagine the kind of cost it will incur to have that in the open seas every single day. Do you feel it's part of some greater military push within the Southern Caribbean, namely our neighbors in Venezuela?
I wouldn't want to say that, at least. Many years ago, in 1990, for instance, the USS Theodore Roosevelt was here.
But that came about 4 months before the coup. That was here about some months before the coup. I recall that.
And I don't think it had anything to do with the coup.
Well, yeah, because they came before the coup. We had no idea the coup was going to happen in July of 1990.
Okay. But I know that this very big one is here. Yes, there are a lot of people quite concerned. Some people are scared. Some people are panicking.
Mm-hmm.
I would want to encourage them not to panic. If there is going to be a war, and I keep hearing the word, I don't know who started it. I keep hearing that there is going to be a war and Venezuela is going to attack Trinidad and so on and so on. I don't know where they got all the intelligence from. I don't think Venezuela is going to attack Trinidad. Why would Venezuela attack Trinidad? Why would America attack Venezuela? That's another story. And I think we all know the story.
Mm-hmm. Well, I would imagine people are fearful because if we are on the side of the Americans in this particular battle and we offer Trinidad and Tobago as a staging ground, there are many who believe that if these two military mights go at it, we could end up getting a bad lash, as it were. Like in any fight, in any battle, if you're too close to the action, you could end up getting a rogue cuff or a rogue kick or slap. And so I guess that's why some people are a bit nervous based on the military posturing and the air of uncertainty.
I don't see Venezuela as a big player. Venezuela is not going to try to match their fighting capability with the Americans. That's clearly, that can't be in their mind. Venezuela is not able to handle America. We know that.
Well, we know this, but you see, Venezuela are friends with the likes of China, the likes of Russia,
yes.
and many are nervous that these are the players who might get involved because, again, the eyes are on clearly their resources.
I keep hearing when the two elephants fight, only the grass gets trampled, and you keep hearing that. Mm-hmm. You know.
Yeah.
I have not reached the stage yet, and I don't think I will, where I'm fearful or panicking about anything. Not at all.
Well, I mean, yes, I totally understand.
I'm in Tobago relaxing. I came for the carnival in Tobago.
Okay.
It was good. I'm still here relaxing myself.
Well, of course, and you deserve that for the kind of service you would have given to the country. I think this is your relaxation mode, you're in retirement mode, and I'm really happy to hear that. I want to ask you, though, collaboration with the U.S., this would have occurred for years. I mean, you said back in 1990, aircraft carrier came some months before the coup. So I guess the collaboration with the U.S., it's always been part of the mix and that, exchanging of expertise and training. But I guess people are looking at the timing of this current scenario.
Let me go way back to 1985-86. I'm the first person from the English-speaking Caribbean to undergo training in the United States.
That was you, Brigadier?
I am the first person from the English-speaking Caribbean.
Okay.
To undergo training in the United States. That's 1985-86.
Wow.
I attended the United States Army Command and General Staff College, which is one of the highest institutions, military institutions. Subsequent to my going there, more military officers from the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force and Jamaica Defense Force and Barbados and Guyana have followed.
Okay.
So we've all had training in the United States. Senior officers, that is.
Indeed. And the training continues.
So we have been friends and allies with the Americans for decades.
And the training continues because we're watching on screen right now some footage, I don't know if you're actually close to the TV, of the U.S. soldiers and our soldiers doing a joint exercise clearly over the weekend into probably yesterday, building schools, helping out with some of the infrastructure work there. What kind of stuff happens in this training, retired Brigadier General? If you could walk us through.
Well, you train to prepare for war, generally speaking. That's what it is. They're combat soldiers. I'm looking at them now. They're training, preparing for war. Hopefully, they don't want a war. Soldiers really don't want a war, Politicians start the war and soldiers have to finish it. But soldiers are not looking forward to a war. I think I speak for thousands of soldiers internationally.
Let me ask you, retired Brigadier General, and this is a question, a genuine question, because it's a concern I would have raised on the program from the very start of this development. I know we don't have the capacity, so we don't have the missile interceptors, we don't have the capacity and the equipment, but do we have the heart? While you were in the Army, while you were part of the structure, did you encounter soldiers who would put their life on the line for Trinidad and Tobago? I mean, I know we can't speak of the current crop now, you're not there, but while you were there people with that kind of passion for country who were willing to sacrifice themselves? And I would imagine the greatest challenge we had would have been right there in 1990 with our attempted coup. And walk me through the temperament and the mindset of the soldier while you were there.
Well, as you said, I can talk when I was there. Yes, we are prepared to die for our country. Hopefully, as General Patton said years ago, we prefer to see the other guy die for his country. So we will kill him. But the average soldier that I knew from between 1963 when I joined and 1999 when I demitted office, there are soldiers who would give their life. Take, for instance, when we had to go to Haiti. When we had to go to Haiti, we were oversubscribed. Like just about every soldier wanted to go. And we didn't know what we were going to meet in Haiti. But soldiers wanted to go to fight, to defend and to defend Haiti. Mm-hmm. I visited them in December, Christmas of 1994. I visited them in Haiti, and not one man wanted to come back. They all wanted to stay there and help the cause. They were part of the United Nations mission in Haiti, working alongside the Americans and other countries.
Yeah, understood.
But nobody wanted to come home for Christmas. Nobody said, well, I want to go home for Christmas because I'm fed up with this stuff. No.
Okay.
Nobody from the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force was there, wanted to come back home. They just wanted to stay there and do what they're trained to do.
Yeah, I guess I wonder if that temperament remains in the service today. I guess someone within the structure will have to tell me. Let me ask you, you said you're enjoying your retirement. I know you have been retired for years. I see you at many events, always in your green, smiling, well-dressed, always dapper. You're in Tobago relaxing. There is no cause of concern in your mind at this point in time. I mean, we saw the energy deal fallout yesterday. Did that ring any alarm bells? What's your take on just some of the stuff that's happening even beyond the military posturing?
Yeah. There's going to be some sort of fallout. We can anticipate that. Am I worried? Probably just a bit concerned. But I'm not overly worried about it. We have to live, we have to adjust. Mm-hmm. For whatever comes.
Yeah. Any closing remarks, retired Brigadier General, as we wrap things up this morning?
But let me start by saying I can encourage us to pray for Jamaica. Just to step aside a bit from what's happening between America, Venezuela, Trinidad, Tobago, and Guyana, and so on. Jamaica is going to be hit hard, and we want to say a little prayer for them. Mm. Back home on the ranch, I will encourage people to be calm, to be cool. Let's follow what's happening. Let's see if we can adjust and adapt to what is happening around us. Mm. But panicking and getting worried and losing your cool and getting mad, I see somebody says that it will affect people mentally and so on. Oh, I didn't realize that. But I'm not a doctor. The doctor who said that probably knows what he's talking about. I don't know if too many people after the Second World War went off because of the war. I don't know if too many people post-1990, the attempted coup. I don't know if any of those, if anybody, became mentally retarded, if you will, because of that.
Well, I will tell you. I will tell you because I spent some time at TTT when my career started. Another place. There are people, honestly, Brigadier General, who are still impacted. There are people who could not stand the sight of deceased Imam Yassim Abubakar. When he went into the building, they would walk out. There are people who are still traumatized. The likes of Emmett Hennessy and others who are still very much, that day, it brings a certain anxiety all these years after. So, I mean, obviously, there are some people who, because of these battles, it impacts them for years to come.
I understand that. Whenever I saw Abu Bakr, it didn't worry me mentally. I was disappointed.
Yeah.
I was disappointed that we didn't do what we wanted to do.
Yes.
But that's another conversation.
Yeah, for a different day, indeed. But I want to thank you. I mean, you took a little time out during your Tobago relaxation time to spend the morning with us. All the best, and I'm sure I will see you at one of the cultural events soon, and we get a chance to chit-chat some more. Thank you so much for the perspective.
Just be calm.
Of course, I will. I've taken that from you, retired Brigadier General. Carl Alfonso touching base with us this morning. And indeed, we want to continue with this very important talking point because coming up after the break, international relations lecturer at the University of the West Indies, Dr. Karen Niles, will treat with this recent development with the energy deal fallout and some of, again, the geopolitical gymnastics we are seeing right now within this space. Dr. Niles joins me next.
High blood pressure doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aja Nutrition's blood pressure support is crafted with a clinical strength blend to help you take control naturally. Gentle on the body, powerful for your heart. Blood pressure support by Aja Nutrition. Naturally strong.
team, let's do this. You can get the help you need to succeed. With Rand Credit Union, you can believe that you can achieve. Big goals, small ones too. Rand Credit Union, we've got you. No more waiting, that won't do. Make someday today. One life, so make it good. Live the way you know you should. With Rand Credit Union, yes you could. Make someday today.
Live your best life today with Rand Credit Union.
Ping pong from Charles Chocolates, comes into flavor.
Ping pong, everybody wants some. Roasted peanuts is the true number one. Ping pong, you better get a handful. This chocolate is so incredible.
What's the snack everybody craves for? Ping pong bongs into flavor. Chocolate coated peanuts. Delicious top class A plus ping pong. Ping pong from Charles Chocolates, bongs into flavor.
Would you recommend this product to younger people?
Age doesn't really matter. So I think if I was 17, 18 and I get introduced to these products, I would maybe be Superman. So
More Superman?
More Superman.
Brilliant! Absolutely outstanding!
As mentioned, Dr. Karen Niles joins me from the University of the West Indies, International Relations Lecturer and the coordinator of the Climate Studies program at the university. Dr. Niles, I want to thank you for the time and for the perspective you're about to share with us. If we were to be guided by the retired Brigadier General and his wisdom and experience, he says, nothing to worry about. He's in Tobago with his feet up, relaxing after the Tobago Carnival experience. Do you share his particular ease of mind at this point in time, Dr. Niles? And welcome. Good morning.
Thank you so much for having me, and good morning to Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning to the world. I would say certainly I don't think that anxiety is going to help us right now in terms of, or let's put it this way, I don't think fear is going to help right now. I think that there's a lot of wisdom in remaining calm and thinking about this in the short, medium, and long term. And I mean, the facts of the matter are before you. You're seeing what's happening. What you should be doing is simply planning for yourself and your family, and as leaders, what our leaders should be doing is making sure that they plan for our future collectively.
Well, honestly, in local terms, I think it really hit the fan last week when we heard of the deployment of the USS Gerald R. Ford with its relocation from the Middle East, from the waters there, and it's going to sail all the way across to this side of the world to position itself in our southern Caribbean Sea. And as you know, this on a pirogue, this on a small boat, this is one of, if not the biggest in the arsenal. Massive beast there on the waters. I mean, is that not a cause for concern? What's your perspective on that assignment, as it were, of this USS Gerald R. Ford to our waters?
Right, sure. So it is a show of force by the U.S. And what's happening is you have two countries that now they're not. What we see now is I don't know. I mean, you need to frame this in, I think, historical context. This is not the first time that you've had a standoff between two countries, but what's unique about this standoff is the way it is happening. So some military experts, if you do security studies and international relations, some of them will call this psychological operations, where you really want to psych the other party out, right? Or provoke them into making a move prematurely, right? So if Venezuela decided that they wanted to take a preemptive strike, or if they wanted to do something before they were attacked, well, I think a number of commentators would view that as unwise, but what's happening now is simply you have somebody that is building up their arsenal very near to your borders. And I think, let's again put it in context. Yes, that vessel is coming with a number of military aircraft on it as well, but we've also seen the B-2 bombers, circling in the region. We've also seen a nuclear submarine in the region. We've also seen 2 other ships before that in the region. And so what we see happening is from our perspective, we're thinking short, medium, long term. And it is destabilizing. It is increasing the sense of tension, right? This is not just in terms of for the Venezuelan government, but for people in the region. And certainly we want this region to be continue to be a zone of peace. That's the regional stance, with which I agree. And so I think, what we need is to lower the tone.
Well, do you accept the argument that the military positioning in the region is to combat drug trafficking? This is some massive military power we have seen the videos and the legal arguments for and against the taking out of the pirogues. But again, the policy position of Washington is that this is to combat narco trafficking and to cut the pipeline of drugs that are spilling into the U.S. and taking so many American lives. Do you accept that argument, Dr. Niles?
I'm afraid I cannot, but to be clear, it's being referred to as narco-terrorism, right? The reason why these persons are being classified as terrorists, let's start there, in the first place, is because governments, when you label someone a terrorist, let's use that term, the international legal framework for treating them as terrorists is not as well developed as other areas. But right now, if you label someone a terrorist, you can simply take them out because they are a threat to your state, right? So the purpose of labeling these persons narco-terrorists is to avoid a judicial and legal process. If we're being frank and honest, that is the reason. So what we're seeing now is the labeling of these persons as narco-terrorists, and that gives us the option, that creates the option of simply, when you have them in your sights, to simply take them out, right? And let's be clear, the penalty for drug trafficking is not death, right? And even if it were, persons have the right to plead their case, persons have the right to legal representation. That is the normal course of the law. But by labeling you a terrorist, they can just essentially take you out. And that's extrajudicial. The reason why that's problematic is, if you think about it, JW, what's to stop us, or what's to stop anyone, really, from labeling local gangs in Trinidad as narco-terrorists? If the issues that these people are trafficking in drugs and selling drugs, can we not take that next step and say, well, the local gangs are also narco-terrorists? And if we do that, can we just go kill them? And that's the question that we have to ask.
What a question. Dr. Niles, I want to take it to the development out of Caracas yesterday, and we'll go to the front page of The Guardian. I don't know if you got your copy just yet, but we'll put it up for you to see. It says, Maduro cuts gas lines amid escalating tensions. Do you think, what can be done to reestablish the lines of communication and to create the atmosphere and the momentum to continue doing business with our neighbors 7 miles away, Venezuela? Could we reestablish our relations?
Of course. Anything is possible.
Where do we start? What was your recommendation?
We need to lower the tone. We need to change the nature of our language. We've had amicable with Venezuela for years.
Well, in all fairness, I saw the Prime Minister recently kind of not making as many outlandish remarks. She was kind of lowering the tone, but I'm just wondering if it might be a little too late. I don't know if the damage is already done. What can be done to get back on at least their good side? There are still diplomatic relations. The ambassador to Venezuela is still here. We don't have one for Venezuela just yet, but our staff, from what we understand, they're comfortable on the ground there in Caracas. But through your lens, what could be done in the short term to just get us back on the table?
And the table that you're referring to is the jargon table, or your table you're talking about is just ordinary relations, diplomatic relations? Diplomatic
relations, the gas line table, or the entire table, the dining table, the table to eat. We won't get back on the dining table with Venezuela.
So I think that we have to put it in context. We do have diplomatic relations with Venezuela, and they are our neighbors. So we still have lines of communication Right? I think that's important. That still exists. And in that regard, let's say if there was a hurricane that changed course dramatically for some reason, or there was some other natural disaster that happened, in either of our countries, there is still some level of relationships between the countries in which we can communicate and even cooperate. What's been significantly impacted is energy cooperation, right? Which is the table to which many are referring to today. And there is an energy cooperation framework which has now been rescinded, right? So let's put that into context and what it would take to get that back on the table. Now that has taken us years to develop in the first place. And what it would take is a resetting of the conversation on the whole. The Venezuelan government, and there is something here to be said about Latin American politics and the degree to which political philosophy matters and political ideology matters. And really taking a more holistic approach towards our foreign policy in Latin America would benefit us in terms of resetting those relations. So our ideology matters, and how we take positions on global issues matters, and our alignment to parties in the global north and global south actually really matters. And that, if we want to reset things, how we go about structuring the conversations with the Venezuelan state is going to be important. So our relations with the Venezuelan state, and not just the Venezuelan people, is really important. And if we choose to align ourselves with any one particular country in the global north or south, and that would have implications for our relationship with Venezuela, because political philosophy really matters, right? So I'd say that much. If you wanted to know what it would take to reset relations with Venezuela, in terms of the short term, that is, I think, really thinking through our political philosophy and our political ideology as a state is going to matter. But more so, speaking frankly, there are two things I think that will reset, and people are wondering if there's any possibility for the jargon right now. So in this current administration, to put it in local parlance, the jargon can't dance, right? Right now, I think, set that aside, our relations with Venezuela are not good. So there is no talk about jargon being developed with this current administration in Venezuela. Now, if persons are speculating that there's going to be a regime change in Venezuela, that's another issue. And would it be possible with a new regime? We'd have to wait and see. It may very well be, but that's speculation. What's before us is the administration that is currently in Caracas has made their position clear. And that has implications for our development.
Indeed, a great perspective there. You know, on a more localized level, what's your take on lots of Trinis who, because I guess of all the talking points and what's happening, and especially because politics is involved in all of this, local politics, there are many who are suggesting, well, you know what, they are very happy to have the U.S. presence in the region. It could keep the Venezuelans away from our borders. They have seen, or at least they look at the Venezuelans through the lens of crime and criminality, and the argument is that they come in here and the crime went up and they're doing the most. But I would have suggested that crime existed prior to the Venezuelans coming in to the island in a massive way in the last couple of years. What do you say to that local kind of energy that's currently existing? And I'm sure you're hearing the talk and hearing the rhetoric. What's your advice to calm that temperature?
First of all, I think we need to be honest with ourselves. We have an organized crime problem that's linked to drugs, that's linked to guns. That's a us problem. It has been for a number of years and throughout a number of political administrations. That's not a UNC problem, it's not a PNM problem, it's a Trinidad and Tobago problem. And we all need to own it, and we all need to be a part of the solution. Let me just be frank about the challenges that are facing us as a people. We have an issue with drugs, we have an issue with guns in our country. That's a Trinidad and Tobago issue. Is it being impacted, or could it be made worse by other parties that are doing business with certain factions of our society? That is a possibility. But let's also be very, very real. There are a number of Venezuelans. Like the official count we got when we opened registration for Venezuelans in Trinidad and Tobago that were here was 16,000. But we know that there are far more Venezuelans than 16,000 in Trinidad and Tobago. We also know that, therefore, because there are that many Venezuelans in Trinidad and Tobago, we also realize that if all of them were here and involved in illicit activity, the country would look very different. But instead, what we're seeing is that a number of them are here and working very, very hard. They're serving you your meals when you go to a restaurant. They're washing your car. They are doing a lot of, they're cleaning your yard even when they come. So let's be very, very real and very frank about this. They are here doing a number of jobs and playing a number of roles, which many of us in Trinidad and Tobago as Trimbagonians do not want to do, right? And they are powering our economy in many ways. So if you speak to our economists, which I would also encourage JW to do, they will tell you that their contribution to GDP is usually a net positive because they're here working very, very hard, doing a lot of jobs that we do not want to do. That is a definite impact of them being here. The aspersion, the speculation that somehow they're responsible for our problems is mischievous. And it is actually not helping us to do the things that we need to do to deal with our own issues, right? Are there persons from Venezuela that could be involved in the illicit activities? That could certainly be true. But to say that they're the cause of what's going on in our country is misleading, is unhelpful.
Yeah.
We had an issue before the borders was fully open and they could traverse back and forth, and that issue will remain even if all of them went back, right? So I think we need to own our own issues and also not politicize it. It's not a PNM issue, as I said, it's not a UNC issue, it's an us issue, and we need to address it frontally.
Dr. Niles, I want to thank you as always for the perspective. Let's keep the conversation going. I'm sure with any new development, feel free to come in and give us some clarity, and I thoroughly enjoyed our conversation this morning.
Sure, and thank you so much for having me.
You're most welcome. That's Dr. Karen Niles, International Relations Lecturer at the University of the West Indies, St. Augustine. We take a pause, we come back. Remember, we have the open forum, so I look forward to all the calls. All those who were on yesterday, feel free. Let's continue the conversation later on after 7. See you soon.
At Bagwansing's, Port of Spain and Chaguanas, we are committed to providing quality products for all major building projects. Let's build together with rebars and beams, BRC coils and mats, RHS and angles, roofing sheets and purlins, lumber, plywood and MDF. Bagwansing's, building homes, building communities, building TNT for over 60 years. Bagwansing's, Port of Spain and Chaguanas, building value every day.
Food basket, nation's #1 supermarket, bakery, restaurant, meat market, fresh produce and everything fantastic. For everyday low price, things real nice. Come in once, but to come back twice. Wholesale, retail, everything for you. Arima, Chaguanas, Shafle, go view. Food basket, the nation's #1 supermarket, bakery, restaurant, meat market, fresh produce and everything fantastic. Food basket, hypermarket, Arima, where shopping is a pleasure and the price is right.
Step into the Christmas season at Tile Depot. 12 by 12 tiles, $750. 17 by 17, $975. 18 by 18, $995. 20 by 20, $15.95. And 22 by 22, only $20. Visit Tile Depot Limited, Bagney Trace Chase Village. Call 234-4402.
Question: how much does a funeral go for these days? I guarantee the figure you're thinking is way smaller than the actual cost. Because even though life is priceless, death is real expensive. But CUNA Caribbean's Family Indemnity Plan can help for things like sudden funeral costs, plus the other bills left behind that could threaten your finances. And imagine, for a monthly payment of less than $70, you could cover up to 9 family members. And you don't have to take a medical exam to sign up. So don't stick. Get the Family Indemnity Plan. Why? Because it's a good thing. Trust me. CUNA Caribbean Insurance. For all people. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back. Let's get into our daily health tip. Enjoy.
The Daily Health Tip, brought to you by Omega XL, where health is wealth. Ever wondered what makes the biggest difference in heart health? Think about it. Your heart is a vital organ that works tirelessly, beating approximately 100,000 times a day to keep you alive and thriving. Despite its relentless effort, heart health often doesn't receive the attention it deserves until it's too late. High cholesterol and hypertension are more than just medical terms. They represent real risks that can lead to cardiovascular diseases, the leading cause of death globally. This is why it's crucial to take proactive steps to support your heart. Have you ever considered the profound impact a simple supplement might have on your heart health? Consider the power of a high-potency omega-7 blend. While omega-7 might bring to mind fish oils, a known source of beneficial fats, this supplement goes beyond just delivering good fats. It boosts your metabolism and supports your cardiovascular health. It works by potentially helping manage serum lipid levels, which include cholesterol and triglycerides. These are the substances that, if not controlled, can lead to clogged arteries, posing serious risks to your heart. By incorporating this supplement into your daily routine, you could lower both your cholesterol and blood pressure, critical factors in maintaining a healthy heart. Imagine gaining these substantial health benefits from one small, easy-to-take supplement. While omega-7s are less known compared to their cousins omega-3s, they play a critical role in managing serum lipid levels, which include both HDL, good cholesterol, and LDL, bad cholesterol. Managing these is key to preventing the buildup of cholesterol in your arteries, potentially reducing the risk of heart disease. But why is omega-7 essential? Daily habits such as poor diet, lack of exercise, smoking, and excessive stress contribute to the deterioration of heart health. By integrating omega-7 into your regimen, you can counteract some of these effects by promoting a healthy metabolism and supporting your cardiovascular system. Imagine harnessing these benefits daily through a simple supplement. To maintain overall wellness, consider the 5 foundations of health: a balanced diet, regular physical activity, adequate sleep, stress management, and preventative health care. Remember, before starting any new supplement or making significant lifestyle changes, it is crucial to consult with your healthcare provider. This ensures that any new health regimen is tailored to your individual needs and medical history. Don't wait until it's too late. Your heart works hard for you every second. Give it the support it needs. Let's make heart health a priority together. The Daily Health Tip, brought to you by Omega XL, where health is wealth.
Sincere thanks, Omega XL. Let's get ready for the 7 a.m. news update, your calls, and so much more after 7.
Southern Food Basket. Quality food to fill your basket. Get it all at Southern Food Basket. Fresh goods on every aisle with best prices. For the best market around, high quality meats pound for pound. Get the best for less, start shopping. Go to Southern Food Basket. Shopping how you like it. High quality at the best prices. Every aisle just wide and special. So spend less at Southern Food Basket. Good food at great prices for sure. Come get what you're looking for.
Things don't always go as expected. Be ready with Trinry for auto, home, business and group life. Call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Huge insurance premium. Pay your premiums bit by bit with FlexiPay from Trinry. For more manageable auto, home and commercial insurance payments, call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Trinry. Premier insurance coverage for less.
Folks, take a look at all these medical conditions. What does it have in common? This, ITIS. But what does ITIS really mean?
The suffix itis denotes inflammation of a specified organ or tissue.
ITIS really means inflammation. How do we combat chronic inflammation? Through lifestyle changes. Then, and only then, make sure you're getting enough omega-3 fatty acids.
Always consult a qualified medical professional before starting any supplements.
Make sure you have yourself a great investment week by viewing The Boss Report every Monday morning at 6:15 a.m. during CNC3's The Morning Brew. You'll get sound financial advice, whether you're a new or experienced investor, when you view The Boss Report. CNC3, covering your world.
Good morning, I am Carissa Lee with headline news on CNC3 and the TBC Radio Network. With the U.S. increasing its military presence in the Caribbean, Chief Secretary Fali Augustin is making it clear Tobago does not support war in any form. At an event at the UE yesterday, he again voiced concern that Tobago has no input in TNT's foreign policy positions. However, he maintains that war is not an option.
Certainly, I will not be supporting war anywhere in the world. I don't think that we need to go to war to resolve conflicts necessarily. So that won't get my support from a moral perspective. But from a purely legal perspective, unfortunately, the THA doesn't even get the benefit of consultation.
He is petitioning for legislative changes to give Tobago a voice in shaping foreign policy. Meanwhile, Augustin says he has reminded fishermen to remain law-abiding and to avoid international waters, urging them to focus on local fishing grounds instead. He also recalled previously warning the island's limited Coast Guard assets, an issue he says remains separate, but one that continues to be his main priority. A 42-year-old penal housewife and her two daughters are now fearful to stay in their home after bandits attacked them early yesterday morning. Sherry Dowlett says her 18-year-old daughter was put in a chokehold and slammed onto her bed during the ordeal. Both women, as well as a 5-year-old daughter, were bound with duct tape as 3 armed men invaded their home at Simangal Trace, shortly after her husband left for work at 5 a.m. For 20 minutes, they were terrorized as bandits demanded money and jewelry. Dowlett recalls being afraid that they would have been shot.
She put my foot and mouth, my hand and thing. And when she come out, well, I tell them, I say, they say, if it have any jewel and thing in the room and thing, I say, they tell me how I have to carry them to show them. I say, well, I can't walk and let them take thing up my foot. They say, they hold in my hand and they carry me. And I went to the room and I said, my husband have this safe underneath the bed. Just take that and go, just pay with life.
The Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Commerce says it is disappointed by the decision of Venezuelan Vice President Delcy Rodriguez to end the Energy Corporation Framework Agreement signed on February 24, 2015 between both countries. Venezuela said it may suspend gas agreements with Trinidad and Tobago as U.S. military drills continue in the Caribbean. The chamber noted that the agreement specifically stated that no provision of the agreement will affect the sovereign rights of the two nations over their respective territories, maritime zones, and other geographical spaces under their sovereignty and jurisdiction, and said it respects Venezuela's decision in this regard. It added that despite Venezuela's intent to disband the framework, the underlying purpose of the agreement, the Chamber hopes that a return to the rationale for the genesis of this agreement can be rekindled and that the spirit and hope that was fostered through this agreement can somehow survive through the willingness of all parties. Those were your 7 a.m. news headlines. We'll have another news update at 8 a.m. on the TBC Radio Network.
Millions of people are attacked by harmful mouth bacteria. The root cause of bad breath, gum problems, cavities, plaque, and tartar. That's why Colgate combined the best science and technology in Colgate Total. Unlike others, its superior formula fights bacteria and creates a powerful protective barrier for up to 24 hours to prevent them from coming back. Take control of your oral health with Colgate Total.
back. It's the second hour. Before we touch base, open the lines to get that perspective, to get that conversation going, let's check in with our brothers and sisters and family in Jamaica. We head up north to the land we love, out of many one people. And yes, no matter if they're up on the north coast or way down on the south coast, everyone in Jamaica right now, they are going through it. It is literally the storm, the hurricane, it is over the island. And as we tap into some of the footage, if you go at the flat bridge that we saw yesterday, a thin piece of bridge that people were going, right? This is iconic flat bridge in Jamaica. Well, you can't even see the bridge this morning. The bridge is no more. Somewhere under the water is the bridge, and I kind of suspect the bridge is going to be washed away. I suspect the people there will be marooned because that bridge is clearly a connection in that particular parish that gets people from one side to the next. Yesterday, around this time, there was water under the bridge. The bridge was up and running. People were going back and forth. Today, the bridge is, this morning as we speak. You see that bridge there? There's no bridge. The water and the runoff, and that is the concern with the slow-moving Melissa. Category 5 is dumping lots of rain, and Jamaica's, you know, for those who know the landscape, very hilly. Yes, the hills could brace and block some of the wind, but naturally there will be a fall-off, there will be a roll-off from the hills into the flatter areas. And with some of the gullies already compromised, they were doing some last-minute dredging and trying to clean up the gullies, well, the big drains, as we say in Trinidad. It might have been a little bit too late. So there is this anticipation of major flooding in all the low-lying areas. And certain villages, certain areas that are close to the sea, like Port Royal, there's been that particular call for a mandatory evacuation. This is the harbor view. This is the view you get from the airport looking in. So that is actually Kingston there, well, waterfront. Right, you get a perspective as to the old Kingston, close to the ROK Hotel and that particular area. That's more like the corporate side, a couple of corporate buildings on that end. And then, of course, further north would be New Kingston. And as you can see, that ocean there, usually a bit calm, not as active. Well, they're literally in the eye of the storm. It's a hurricane being beaten Jamaica as we speak. So there is lots to be, lots to be thankful for here at home, but also we, as per usual, will activate, and we have already, the government and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, CARICOM Affairs, they're putting measures in place to assist and to send aid to, I would imagine, our locals there, and by extension, all of Jamaica. So, all hands on deck as we keep Jamaica in prayer this morning. Let's set to the lines on this Tuesday the 28th of October, 2025. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Jason.
Oh, yes, great. So we got to continue the conversation from yesterday. Go right ahead, man. I'll listen this morning.
Right. All right. So, Jason, first and foremost, I surprised to see you still here. I say you don't pack up and go to Venezuela already. I mean, because you don't like what's going on here, so I know you ain't going to go to the airport because you ain't going to America.
Yeah,
I'm saying, I say for people now, you can't pass and go along with one or two of them last thing. Oh, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right? But anyway, what I want to say, right, is that I agree fully 100% with what the government is doing, with the Honorable Kamala Persad-Bissessar is doing as a Prime Minister, right, to take it upon herself, right, and to use the necessary resources in an attempt to try and protect Trinidad from any sort of further border runs from these people and them, all right? I would not say them. Maybe a few weeks ago I would have used too much of a harsh word when I said enemy. But ask yourself this question, Jason: what are they bringing to us? Understand something? If they are partaking in crime, home invasions, all sorts of things, and who says they coming to invade? There's only one kind of people that come to invade. There's only one kind of people. Let us be real now. Come on, man. There's only one people, one kind of fabric of society they're targeting down here, and let us be real.
No,
right?
Shogunas, and I'll let you continue because I want us to really engage. I know yesterday we were going back and forth, right? So a couple of things. You don't have to call them enemies, but when you refer to them like what you just said, quote, these people and them, and you're almost suggesting that the Venezuelans who are here are draining and bringing strife and peril. A matter of fact, if you go wrong, I challenge you to go right in Shogunas. You see how much of them working Shogunas? They actually contributed?
Okay, all right. Listen, man, they contributed. Jason, you would be amazed to know what is going on in Central. You would be amazed to know what is going on by extension in different parts of the country. Let me tell you something. It may look like these people are working in bars. It may look like these people are working in different places. Now, they far and few are the bad ones, but the majority are good people. Listen to what I'm saying. I have to be fair here. But I'm talking about those who are responsible, right, for entertaining the criminal activity in Trinidad and Tobago, right? But anyway, let me tell you something, right? I personally believe that good is being done here, right? And we must stand behind our Prime Minister, right? And we must stand behind our leaders, because let me tell you this. If it is that the opposition was still in power, you would not have gotten this sort of kickback, all right? I realized that they showed 2 videos yesterday morning in connection with Dominica and Miyamati from Barbados, right? Have you, let me tell you something, Jason, that just given people the perception, right? That have a way of giving people the perception that, listen, that havoc and mayhem is going to take place in Trinidad. Why don't you show them, listen to me good, why don't you show them the response from the Prime Minister relevant to these whole things? Because she's had different response. When I say along the same line, but she has responded to these things. Why don't you want to calm the public instead of showing them these things to try and hide them? Understand what I'm saying?
We'll stick up in for now. We'll stick up in. I want to thank you as always. I want to bring somebody else in. And we could always continue with the conversation tomorrow. But as always, sincere thanks for coming in. Shogunas will always come in with his sharp commentary. And we appreciate all the calls, man, by all means. Let's head now to Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz, good morning.
Morning, Jay. I listened to Mr. Shagona, something like that. But, and I'm also looking at the statement that Kamala Prasad-Bissassa making, that how the CARICOM is siding with Venezuela. And if you're making that statement, siding with Venezuela with respect to what? Venezuela never planned to go to war with anybody. So what is the siding with Venezuela about? You understand me? So one needs to be very, very, very clear. One needs to be very, very clear in terms of, if you're making a statement that Venezuela, that the CARICOM is siding with Venezuela with respect to what? So you're just making a statement, trying to shift the goalposts every time you get cornered. You understand me? So I think we need to be very, very clear. This whole operation is a U.S. operation come to remove Maduro from office. It was made clear by Donald Trump to put somebody who lives in Spain to run Venezuela in order to get the oil and gas. The other point is, she dismisses the whole question of the oil and gas in Venezuela and create the impression that Trinidad and Tobago can stand on its own. They don't need nobody. And this is a false narrative. And I call on all the economists and all the business community to say to this woman that she is going down the wrong road, that we will end up an isolated country with nobody to trade with. She also go further and stated, and I want to quote what she said, with respect to the Law Association, when they indicate they were not satisfied with the way Budu Singh was appointed as Chief Justice, they never said they against his appointment. They said they were not satisfied with the manner in which it was appointed. She went and said, eat her food filth.
Santa Cruz?
Now, is she a part of the Law Association?
Santa Cruz.
You understand me? We cannot continue in that way in which our Prime Minister is insulting people every time they have a different point of view.
Oliver Santa Cruz, I want to move on to our next call. And again, thank you, Santa Cruz. Now, in terms of the Prime Minister, on page 4 here in The Guardian, she is speaking to the lack of regional support for Trinidad and Tobago's endorsement of the United States naval assets in the said Caribbean. So I guess that's her particular issue and why she is looking at CARICOM, through some very critical lens this morning. Let's continue with the calls. Who's out there? Welcome.
Morning, Jason.
Morning, morning. Welcome.
Yeah, not bad. Jason, you know, for many decades, the U.S. has imposed its will around the world using its preeminent military might. We all know this, eh? And during, I think, under Obama, they found another method to enforce its will by using the power of the dollar in the global financial system as a weapon. We have to be very careful, Jason. The U.S. cannot, we cannot depend on the U.S. for our economic future. Gas and oil is our mainstay. Without gas in this country, Jason, the possibility is that this country can go dark. Okay, we depend not just internationally, but domestically for a lot of gas for our energy needs. Now, as far as I'm aware, the U.S. never reached out to Kamala Prasad-Bissessar, this government, for any assistance in what they are doing in the Caribbean here. And we know superpowers have been always conducting military exercises around the world. They come around the world from time to time and they conduct what they call exercises. But what is happening here, even the U.S. Congress is concerned about what's happening here. This is criminal behavior. This has nothing to do, and we all know, and even all of our political analysts in this country have fallen short on stating that the U.S. is wrong in doing this. I don't know if everybody protecting their visas or what, but they are wrong. It is criminal what they are doing, and that is not the way you go after drug trafficking in this world. Yeah. So we cannot sit here idly by and try to save our visas and understand that the U.S. has nothing to offer us when they leave here. Nothing. Thanks.
Take it easy. Let's take some more. Again, you know, I mean, I know yesterday it was a lot of back and forth. You know, I guess, you know, today, taking a chance to really soak in what everyone is saying. Listen, I mean, I listen all the time, but it's just, I try to challenge and to offer critical thinking. I mean, yes, we have leaders who will put their policy positions forward, but I do think it's whether, you know, no matter where you are on the political divide, and it's not about the politics of the day. I'm looking at ultimately Trinidad and Tobago and our Twin Island state and where we are in all of this. And what is best for us at this point in time. And, you know, I think, you know, well, I mean, peace is always better than war. Eh? I'm not suggesting that is what's on the horizon, because we don't want to fan and stoke any fears. But, you know, peace and diplomacy and being able to work together, especially with a neighbor who's so close. Let's find out what's happening with the last call. Good morning.
Hello, good day.
Good day, welcome.
Okay, okay. I want to say something.
Yeah.
What the American government is trying to do is clear to everyone, even the individuals, the legislators in America are suggesting the same thing. It's only about regime change, right? And when that happens, now we hoping it doesn't happen. But if America does invade Venezuela, it will destabilize this whole region. Because if you think we have people migrating from Venezuela now, it will be in mass now. Okay, and we have to understand something also. When America is finished, we live this is a small region. When America is finished, if they do invade and they finish and everything else, all the confusion is taken, it's finished. We still have to live with Venezuela. We still have to live with our neighbors. You understand me? So we have to, you see, we cannot be so rash in making decisions. America has an agenda, but our agenda should be keeping this region safe and a zone of peace and keeping our country and countries in a stable situation. And right now, what is happening will basically endanger all of that. Have a blessed day.
You're all the best caller. Again, you know, I mean, you know, mixed views, different perspective, and that's what the open forum is about. I mean, yes, every now and then I would challenge, especially my partner from Chaguanas. You know, we have our back and forth at times, but everyone, you know, it's entitled to their particular position point and their policy position, and you know, people will see this scenario through different lens. That's just human nature. But we hope that it remains as it is right now, just crosstalk and banter, and it doesn't get into any kind of engagement. I don't think anybody wants that. And I think for the Southerners who are panic buying, nothing wrong to have your supplies and to be on top of things, but no reason to be so fearful. I mean, it's just, it's talk at this point in time, and well, unfortunately, yesterday we saw the pulling of the gas conversation. Hopefully, the gas lines could open up again in the near future. Let's get ready. Our Digipreneur joins us next. We check in with Karen Rose. Have no fear, the Digipreneur is here. Very important talking point. We're going to find out how AI and laws are changing when it comes to the influencer marketing segment. Karen Rose, up next.
Presenting the most modern pharmaceutical facility in the country, Food Basket Hyperfarm Pharmacy Food Basket Complex, Arima. We stock the widest range of health and beauty products, baby supplies, stationery, fragrances, and cosmetics. Our organic, sugar, and gluten-free products cater to vegans and the health conscious. A wide assortment of dispensary medication and over-the-counter items at the most affordable prices. Make Hyperfarm Pharmacy your choice. Located on the compound of Food Basket Complex, Arima.
CLR is your turn. The Roadie Lovers comedy show is coming to the east. Cipriani Liba College. One show only. Sunday the 2nd of November, 6:30 p.m. baby. Tickets available at Electronics Arima, Dormont Shoe Store, Long Circular Mall, Anthony's Floral, Val Park, Gay Square Stores, Eastgate Mall, West Mall, Brentwood Plaza, Chaguanas, and C3 Center Mall, San Fernando, and IslandEatTickets.com. For more info, call 683-0356. Eastside, are you ready to laugh? Well,
Welcome to ABC Doors and Windows, TNT's #1 destination for the best quality and widest variety of doors and windows. Enhance your space with our premium wooden, steel panels, fiberglass, and steel security doors, complemented by our aluminum, UPVC, and steel windows. Shop for the best quality and service at ABC Doors and Windows. Visit our impressive showroom at 1 Chancatrace, El Socorro South, or call 638-7184 to get started. Trust ABC for a better choice.
Looking for big savings and a better shopping experience? Come on down to Food Shoppers Supermarket, 121 Eastern Main Road, Arima, in the J Chai Trading Compound. 10% off meats every Wednesday, 30% off fresh produce every Sunday and Monday. Plus, buy one, get one deals on select items. Shop in comfort, wide aisles, cool and clean store, and spacious parking. Food Shoppers Supermarket, big on savings, big on comfort.
Have no fear, the Digipreneur is here. Karen Rose joins me on the Zoom line. Karen, great to see you, my friend. Of course, we are monitoring all the developments here at home, here with Trinidad and Tobago, and what's happening via the geopolitics, and of course our brothers and sisters up north in Jamaica who are currently getting touch up. They're getting a pounding from Hurricane Melissa. So lots happening in the region. Karen, how are things on your side?
Oh boy, quiet, and I'm happy for that, grateful for that. Prayers definitely to Jamaica, because I mean, just looking and seeing what is going on with that hurricane, Jamaica's really going to be put to the test, and all the infrastructure and systems, the recovery efforts. I hope everything can go as smoothly as possible with minimal damage. So prayers up for Jamaica.
Yeah, indeed. Karen, let's check in with today's talking point. You are basically going to tell us how AI and laws are changing influencer marketing. For those looking on, could you firstly establish what is influencer marketing? Let's build the context, and then we see the latest trends.
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, influencer marketing has been around for a very long time, right? And I mean, just to keep it simply put, we use all of these platforms, social media, podcasting platforms, video platforms. People create content on a regular basis. So anybody could be a content creator. Where it becomes influencer marketing is when brands are typically going to partner with you so that way they can get exposure or to drive sales for particular products. So the minute you start to work with the brand and they're giving you a product or they're giving you a message to run with, any type of collaboration, that is when it becomes influencer marketing.
So AI and laws are changing the game? Could you give me some examples, basically?
Yeah, so there's some massive things that are happening right now, right? So let's just start on the consumer side of things with where we used to get our information from when it comes to, how we buy products or services. So back in the day, we knew that it was radio, print, TV. As long as you had a good ad in print, a jingle, or a good commercial, you got business. Then came the internet and the search engine. So now we would just, if we have any questions, we would have jumped to Google. We got information about a product or service, and that's how we got edified, and that's how we bought. Then it evolved into now social media, where you're seeing people create content, and whether it's skits, whether it's education, but they're creating content on social media. So we would learn about products and businesses on social media, then we go and buy. And now the evolution again is we are in the age of AI, where now people are going directly to AI tools like a ChatGPT, Perplexity, and they're getting these custom experiences so that they can do their own research and ask a million questions, and they can find specific things. Now, the reason why AI is changing, or impacting influencer marketing the way that it is because we are in the time period where influencer fatigue is real. We know that when we see content creators partner with brands, we know the information usually isn't always going to be not necessarily true for us. So the curated experiences that people experience with the brand and the content creator is typically not what we get as consumers. So there's been a lot of distrust over the years, and we are finally at this breaking point. And that's on the consumer side. When it comes to the laws and how it's impacting influencer marketing, is you now have countries like the UAE, so Dubai, Qatar as well, China. They have just come out and they have now rolled out licenses where content creators, if you want to speak on particular topics, you now need to be licensed. And if you are not licensed, you're going to be held accountable. So they're either gonna fine you or further consequences, because again, this is how they're going to be challenging the misinformation, the disinformation that's being perpetuated online. And China has also done the exact same thing, where they have now made it legal that you need to be, in order to speak about topics on health, medical, finance, and they listed a bunch of different topics, you need to have either a degree or some type of professional certifications in order to speak on these topics. And I'll add this in before you jump right back in. We've seen just yesterday, one of our own reporters, Mr. Timothy on CNC3, was interviewing our Senator, the Honorable Dominic Smith, about how is TNT combating the misinformation, disinformation. He said, well, they're kind of monitoring the situation. So we see what the UAE and China is doing, where now they're bringing in a framework, a legal framework to have people register to ensure credibility. That is how they are fighting against all this misinformation. These are some of the things that we need to start paying attention to in TNT, because just monitoring what people are saying online isn't going to get the job done. Now we need to take the next steps. But here's the thing. We are seeing what the next steps are looking like in other countries around the world.
So all this happened on the heels of what? Some fraudulent activity, people speaking on matters with no kind of expertise. I mean, people, you pull out a phone or you go there and, there are people who sell you products. But I guess they're looking for some more due diligence now going forward.
Absolutely. So when we go to the AI tools, we know that the AI tools have no bias. The goal is just, they're very pragmatic and practical. We are going to ask all the questions. It's going to pull from all the information online. It's going to give us a custom, unique experience with terms of information. The other thing that is rolling out globally is now people can also start to buy their products and services within ChatGPT. So imagine you go through an entire sales process, you're figuring out what you want to buy, and now you can actually check out inside of ChatGPT and these other tools. So that's huge, because now we're not necessarily looking at the influencers to learn about products, because now we're just going right to AI and we're asking all the necessary questions. Hey, I'm looking to buy a camera. This is what I'm looking to do. And it's pulling in all of the necessary information, and now we can buy right inside. in regards to the reason why the UAE and China and these countries are now creating the laws and legal framework so that you have to be registered to be an influencer. So you can't just start working with brands. The reason this is happening is because we've seen it in a local context. Look at during the election season. Look how many content creators or influencers on both sides of the coin were contracted to spread whatever the message is of the party, right? Content creators and influencers are also being used in the political space. So now, when you have these types of laws like what they're doing in China, where you now have to prove you are, one, credible through degrees or professional certifications, but then you also have to be registered. Now you can be held accountable, and this is how some of the more progressive countries are now starting to clean up the internet. That is how they are attacking the misinformation and disinformation.
So you anticipate Trinidad and Tobago, and by extension the region, would log on to this new, this higher standard, I would imagine, of engagement on the internet?
Do I think we're going to do it? Well, that's a good question. I'm not too sure if. However, the reason why I'm bringing this conversation up is because this is something that is new. This is something that China first rolled theirs out in 2023, but in 2025 they've tightened up because they're trying to combat all of the misinformation online. And the UAE just rolled out their certification program, and they just announced the extension where all content creators need to be registered by January 31st, 2025, or face hefty fines. If we are to get serious about cleaning up the internet and what is allowed, and this is the type of stuff that we have to do. So I would love to see the conversation get started in the Caribbean of how we're going to clean up the internet, because again, we are using it to purchase products and services on one side, which is cool. And again, this is what AI is going to start taking away from the influencer marketing. But then on the trusting side, on cleaning up the information side, we really need to do that, because as we see in times like this, it's never been more important to hold people accountable for the things that they're putting online and things they're saying online, because we see another post that's gone viral where a content creator was posting images of a target on somebody's house, on our prime minister's house. These are the types of things that we need to get away from, but it's not going to happen until we put frameworks in place. The UAE and China are doing the right thing, and they're moving in the right direction.
How do they filter influencers who are out of their jurisdiction? Because again, the internet is an open highway, so an influencer could be promoting a product all the way in Arkansas, and their influence and their impact could reach as far as the Chinese mainland. I try to figure out, yes, I know they want to govern what's happening within their space, but how do they extend it to beyond their borders? Do they have that kind of reach, Karen Rose?
Well, I think this is going to be something that every country is going to sign on to at some point in time in their own form or own way. And at that point, if your content is targeting a particular country, then that country could potentially hold you responsible, or at least try to. So it remains to be seen how that is going to happen. But at least in the context, again, because this is all brand new stuff. But when I was seeing it, these are things that I'm seeing in real time, and I'm like, hey, this is actually very interesting, because it's going to now impact influencer marketing on the whole. Because now, let's just say if a company wants to work with you, or a political party wants to work with you, if you're not registered or credible to speak on the topics, then they're going to face a hefty fine, and then the actual content creator could be facing a hefty fine or anything, whatever the law state past the fines. So I think this is something that they're going to be holding people accountable wherever they can in their jurisdictions, and then we'll see what happens when it comes to now cross-border content where somebody's living in one country but they're promoting something somewhere else.
Most times political parties will go towards folks who are engaging and who will have a massive followers. So obviously you're looking at eyeballs, you're looking at being able to bring somebody in the fold who could impact as many and influence as many. So really, sometimes it's not even about credibility, it's about popularity, Karen Rose.
Well, there you said it, my friend. This is exactly what the UAE and China is now. This is now what they're regulating, because we have too many people. It's never been easier to pick up a phone. You don't need anything fancy. You could pick up a phone. You can start to talk, and you can gain a following. And now with how the algorithms have changed, you don't even necessarily need a big following to go viral. You could just say something outlandish, and that one thing, that individual piece of content goes viral, right? But now there needs to be some form of regulatory framework that we have to start using. And I think for us in TNT and the wider Caribbean, looking at what the UAE is doing and what China is doing is a great example of what we can start to do and implement in our own context, because we too have the exact same problems. And this is how we have to start combating, because again, as of right now, anybody can get online, say whatever they want, do whatever they want, and what is the fallback? Yeah, Karen, I mean, a very important talking point, very relevant to our experience. In the couple seconds that remain, any closing remarks? Yeah, right now I encourage every single business to start learning what the influencer marketing game is going to look like for 2026. Start looking into how you can start to integrate ChatGPT and the shopping aspect of it, because now that we're going more to the AI tools to purchase our products, you need to be ensuring that you're showing up inside the AI tools and you have the ability to sell when it comes to people going into AI. And as for the government, start looking at what the UAE is doing and China is doing. These are things that we can bring in here, because we have to start cleaning up our internet, because this is fueling a lot of the lack of progression here in TNT in the wider Caribbean. Karen Rose, all the best. Great conversation as always. Be safe, and we will touch base next week, God spare. You too, keep safe, and everybody in TNT keep safe as well. We will. Karen Rose, Digipreneur, touching base. We take a short pause and we come back. Much more to go. Of course, later on, I'm going to get a chance to touch base with the Vice President of the Trinidad and Tobago Social Welfare Association under the TTPS umbrella concerning the election and basically the old SOE and the extension, as it were, for 6 months. We'll have that conversation shortly. See you soon.
For those who try Omega XL and they say it didn't work, try it again.
Whatever I was using, this Omega is the best. Remember, you deserve the best. Choose Omega XL, a supplement that I can assure you is committed to helping you live a long life and a strong life.
Live long, stay strong
with Omega XL.
Available nationwide. Visit your local pharmacy or health food store today.
No, this is Radical Trading, you know that? And them have everything to cover anything. Radical Trading have the best fabric designs for your upholstery needs, yeah? So furniture, car, boat, tent, even material for school bags.
This will look really nice on my couch, boy.
They even making pillow too.
Sprang.
Oui?
Oh shucks, I forget my money.
Serious?
They could pay for it for me.
Me and my big mouth boy, I want a Radical get thing to cover mouth yet.
Radical Trading, 4 locations nationwide.
Things don't always go as expected. Be ready with Trinry for auto, home, business and group life. Call us at 800 Trin or visit trinry.com today. Huge insurance premium. Pay your premiums bit by bit with FlexiPay from Trinry. For more manageable auto, home and commercial insurance payments, call us at 800 Trin or visit trinry.com today. Trinry, premier insurance coverage for less.
Welcome back. Well, when it comes to weather events, and in this case, a Category 5 hurricane, the vast majority will hunker down, will go to a safe space, and they will ride this storm out, whether it's at their home, at the home of a friend or family member, or even sometimes people go to an emergency shelter. But there are others, and we've seen it in the Trinidad and Tobago experience. And I say Trinidad and Tobago because I recall there was a storm coming recently, and folks in Tobago had a big line close to the beach. Well, our friends in Jamaica, they are no different. And this is, I don't know how you want to take this, if this is the lighter side of, these weather events, or if it's just a Caribbean thing. But our brothers and sisters in Jamaica yesterday, while many were hunkered down and bracing for the worst, well, these folks decided to come outside Who say party? Well, they said it. And you can see the young lady in the back there. Definitely in the mood. Man with the white vest conducting the whole scene. And people here out and about in their vests and short pants. Having a time, drink in hand. DJ, sound system. While many are bracing. And this is something that we have seen before. We have seen this before, especially with the Trinidad. You know, you always hear a long time people talk about hurricane party and curfew party. And they're going out to go by their favorite water in a hole to ride out the storm. I don't feel these people actually party now, because when we go back to some of the footage, if we could probably get one of the cameras there from the See Jamaica feed. Literally, as we speak, it is bucket a drop of rain. And with the rain, it's definitely going to cause major flooding in the low-lying areas. Can we get probably just one camera before we take that pause? Again, just to give you a little real-time, perspective as to what's happening there as we speak. Now, they are indeed an hour behind us. So it's 7:40 in Trinidad. It's 6:40. People are waking up to lots of rain, waking up to flooding. Of course, we're seeing at least some clarity at this point in time, and this is right there by Halfway Tree, right? Halfway Tree, which is like their city gate, right? Their transport hub. This is where, like, on any given day, we're talking hundreds, and we're talking thousands and tens of thousands. This is what connects Kingston with Portmore, with St. Anne's, with the North Coast. This is the city gate. It's like you put city gate and you throw some steroids on it. Like it's amplified. It's huge. A lot of people, a major commute. And the place is a ghost town. Just one random man just trotting. I don't know what he's up to. So it's serious. So thankfully that party video, that was yesterday. I don't think anybody today will take God out of their thoughts and go outside in short pants and short skirt and party in the midst of this weather event, a Category 5 hurricane. All right, so with that being said, we get ready. We're talking the internal elections for the TTPS, Social Welfare Association. Their vice president joins me to discuss the elections and other major talking points. See you soon.
Get your home ready for Christmas with La Vega's Big Plant Sale. From October 24th to November 2nd, enjoy 20% off all plants, pots, soil, fertilizers, fruit trees, palms, herbs, indoor plants, flowering plants, fragrant plants, ground cover, and more. While you shop, the family can enjoy the nature park, ATVs, and pools. Visit La Vega, San Fernando, or Grand Couva, both branches blooming with savings. Call for details. La Vega's Plant Sale. This one sale you don't want to miss.
Looking for big savings and a better shopping experience? Come on down to Food Shoppers Supermarket, 121 Eastern Main Road, Arima, in the J Chai Trading Compound. 10% off meats every Wednesday, 30% off fresh produce every Sunday and Monday. Plus, buy one, get one deals on select items. Shop in comfort, wide aisles, cool and clean store, and spacious parking. Food Shoppers Supermarket, big on savings, big on comfort.
Caribbean real estate has never looked like this.
Oh my God.
Love or location, yard or view, budget, or bliss?
But when you feel we paying with, we ain't paying with water, we ought to pay with money.
And the agents who keep it all together. Every episode is a decision you'll want to argue.
We have enough friends.
And a story you'll never forget.
So, Mom, we did it.
New episodes Mondays at 8 p.m. with repeats on Wednesdays at 4:25 p.m. and Sundays at 5 p.m. Brought to you courtesy First Citizens, Guardian General Insurance Limited, Courts, Jameson, and D-Best Toys.
Whoa. Please, what do you think about the PNM in opposition?
Now, our opposition is a force. So if the opposition opposes our next opposition, is it really our opposition? Do you think Barry will be able to give water to all? Okay, for that question, tune in to the rundown on CNC3. Wednesdays at 8 p.m. every Wednesday. Yeah. All right?
We're going.
People's work.
Yeah, where?
No, the People's work. It's done on CNC3 on the rundown. Oh, you thought it was here?
Yeah, but
no, it's done on CNC.
I understand betrayal. Some of us, it was a system, maybe it was our families, could have been a stranger.
We are men. We founded this country on our backs. Now they want us to give up power willingly into the hands of people who are incapable of wielding it. Over my dead body.
Some of us like to test limits, but there won't always be second chances. Obey the speed limits. Maybe you don't value your life, but others value theirs. A message from the TTPS.
Well, after legal intervention and postponement and then the lifting of that particular legal framework, it's back on the the Social Welfare Association elections. And we're going to get some perspective this morning. Of course, we want to welcome Acting ASP Ishmael Pitt, who's here with us this morning. And of course, well, he's stepping in for the role of president.
That is correct.
That's right. Mm-hmm. And with us also, stepping in for the role of SRP representative, Kevin Nichols, PC Kevin Nichols, and I say cool on the ice.
How is it cool?
Cool on the ice, cool on the ice, Officer Nichols. Before we get into some of the plans and you know, your particular ethos going into the election, walk us through what transpired and that legal framework and the postponement, as it would, because I remember we had a conversation and then elections was carded and then sort of the new cycle, it was put off, but it's on again.
It's on.
Yeah.
It's on. So
there was a challenge.
There was, yeah. So blessed morning to you, JW. Blessed morning, Trinidad and Tobago.
Blessed morning.
Thank you very much for having us. So what happened is that there was a particular team who was offering themselves to be members of the executive, and they had they had an issue with special reserve officers and municipal officers being part of the association. In fact, their position was that these persons were not authorized to be represented by the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service Social and Welfare Association. So for that reason, amongst other things, there was an injunction on the day of election, and the matter actually went to court. The conclusion is that the judgment did declare that special reserve officers, municipal officers, transit police officers are within their rights to be members of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service Social and Welfare Association, and that they are also, based on that, allowed to take part, allowed to vote, and allowed to, which is very significant, be part of the executive. And that being part of the executive is very, very, very significant. I'm going to tell you how significant it is. It's the first time in the history of this association that we are going to have a special reserve officers rep and a municipal rep. These members pay the same amount of dues like all other members. And we are saying that they deserve a voice at the head table. And for that reason, we were bold enough to change the rules of the association in order to facilitate that. So this is going to be historic. And for that reason, I have my brother here, Colini Eyes, Kevin Nichols, who is offering himself as part of Team Prime's slate in order to be that first Special Reserve representative in going forward, to our elections on November the 3rd.
Let me bring Colini Eyes in. How long would you say the SRP officers would have been pushing for this and wanting to get this kind of recognition so that their collective voice would have been heard?
Good morning, Mr. JW. Morning to Trinidad and Tobago. This year, the SRPs are celebrating 83 years of existence. So since 1942, SRPs have been functioning within the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service.
Had no idea. You're blowing my mind right now.
Yeah. So that's to give you a perspective of how long we have been in the trenches and how long we have been seeking redemption and recognition. Now, with everything, it takes time, it takes political will, it takes knowledge, and most of all, patience. It has not been an easy road for the average Special Reserve police officer, but come November the 3rd, this will be the serving members' opportunity to send a clear message to the detractors that we will no longer be silenced. Time has changed. The police service is changing. It is modernizing. It is becoming more liberal. And we are waiting our day come November the 3rd for that.
What are some of the concerns of the municipal officers who would be the officers who govern the corporations and all these borough councils and stuff? What are some of their concerns?
In terms of terms and conditions and consistency. And it's for that reason that at this point in time, we are awaiting communication from the Minister of Finance in order for us to gain what we will call recognition status. What recognition status does is put us in a position where we are able to negotiate terms and conditions of the municipal police officers. Because just as the Special Reserve officers, they have also been going through a lot of challenges, a lot of struggles regarding their terms and conditions, their duties, how they are generally viewed. There are significant amount of issues. And, we are very much optimistic that that communication is going to take place within short order so that we can go forward in terms of ensuring that our brothers and sisters within the municipal police organization are duly represented and they receive all just dues that are consistent with their line of work.
In terms of the Team Prime ethos, what is it going into this very important election? What is that guiding light of Team Prime as we look at representation and speaking on behalf and having that one voice when it comes to the TTPS?
Well, our mantra, I would start by saying this is Team Prime powered by performance. And we can boast that we have been very prudent in terms of managing the association's finances, and we have also been robust in terms of representation. Now, representation may mean something different to different officers because we have officers who are differently circumstanced. So one officer may have a medical situation, another officer may have a situation regarding housing, another officer may want to have some level of development. There are officers who may have issues just within the organization. And, it's a matter of being able to ensure that in representing persons, we are able to demonstrate that level of integrity, that level of stability, and that level of professionalism that is necessary in order to carry out that particular task. So we are very, very stable. We have, and we continue to boast that we are the most stable team because since the election to now, we have observed some changes in the other teams, and we have remained very stable. We have remained very committed because during that period, that window that occurred between the stopping of election, 30th of June to date, there have been some achievements that were recognized by this particular association in terms of, for one, we had an examination process where the marking scheme, it didn't sit well with the officers who had to face that type of examination. We were able to lobby to ensure that come what January, that will change, so it makes it much more easy and seamless in terms of officers who write the exam. That's just one.
We bring Officer Nichols Cole on the ice back in. Is the voter list verified for the SRPs who will be getting a chance to, I would imagine, vote for the first time?
Yes, the list is being put together. The election committee is at full speed as we speak. And I could clearly state that officers are excited to exercise their right. I believe they are motivated at this point in time. And they are looking forward to November the 3rd, to send that message that this will be the person that they choose to be their voice. And I will be even bold to say that I am clearly that choice.
Yeah, I mean, there must be that sense of confidence going into the election process. And indeed, we wish you the best. Yes, Pipet, the turnout traditionally, is it healthy or good turnout when it comes to the social welfare election?
The turnout could be much better. I wouldn't want to go into the numbers per se.
But you anticipate this time around on the 3rd, it will be based on the delay and based on, I guess, that's back and forth on this, what was happening. You anticipate people will come out?
Well, we are based on the energy from the ground, we anticipate that a lot of persons are going to come out.
And just to add, not cutting across Mr. Pitt, just to add, we believe that was the motivation for the team VIB. That the information on the ground was that a lot of SRPs and municipal officers would be coming out to vote. So it was their idea that if we could get the SRPs and municipal officers debarred, then it would have been better chances for them. But unfortunately, that plan has backfired.
Yeah. Well, we wait with anticipation as to what will transpire on the 3rd, and indeed we wish the gentleman the very best, Officer Pitt and Officer Nichols Cole on the ice. Officer Pitt, you're in the Guardian today, right? On page 8, right? Yeah, you're featured here, no picture and all. It says Police Association head urges consideration for cops as SOE extended. There's this 6-month extension that is in the air. Before we wrap things up, we have like a minute or so before we go. Just give you a chance to expand on your concern with this latest development.
Yes, so this is our second SOE. And I'm saying second SOE in close succession. And within that period, we also had a general election. We just had Tobago Carnival. We are going into the Christmas period, and Carnival is around the corner. And the police service at this point in time, we are stretched. This is not to suggest or to state that the government is not well within their rights to do what they are authorized to do. This is about the management of the police service being able to ensure that police officers are given the opportunity in terms of time to be able to strike that work-life balance. It is of paramount importance. Leave has been restricted to the extent that a lot of officers are applying and they are unable to get their leave, and we want that process managed in a way that it wouldn't bring that level of burnout that is usually consistent with persons just running. This is an extremely stressful job.
Officer Pitt, I want to thank you. Stay with me. Officer Nichols Cole on the ice. We'll take a short pause and wrap things up after these.
Welcome to the speed round of getting money right. Let's begin. Name some of the red flags associated with an investment scam.
Pressure tactics to invest.
Correct.
Promise of money if you bring friends.
Correct.
Request for personal information.
Correct. Bonus question. What is the penalty for operating a pyramid or Ponzi scheme?
$10 million and 10 years in prison.
Correct. Well done. The scores are even, so we go to our tiebreaker question. You receive money in your account from an investment company, and they tell you to transfer it to a third account. Does that sound right?
I think about it, and that not right.
Congratulations, you tinker. Getting Money Right is brought to you by the TTSEC. Visit investigateTT.com to access free learning resources and check the TTSEC for a list of registered individuals and securities. The Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. You invest, we protect, everyone benefits.
So the social welfare election is on November 3rd. We wish Team Prime the best going into this most important election process. With that, we look to pull the curtains down, and God spare I am back for more tomorrow right here for the Morning Brew. Have a good one, TNT, and be safe.
Morning Brew is brought to you by Omega XL. Live long, stay strong.
You're watching CNC3. The views and opinions expressed in the following program are not necessarily those of CNC3.
I thought I was feeling fine, and, I didn't really need to use it because I really was feeling a whole lot better. And I kind of laid off of it, and that was it.
Are you tired of stiffness, discomfort, or feeling like your body just isn't keeping up? Unlock the XL difference and discover how real people, just like you, are reclaiming their mobility, vitality, and strength. In this exclusive presentation from Great Healthworks, we'll share the powerful benefits of Omega XL and 4 other transformative supplements that are helping people feel better, move more freely, and truly enjoy life again.
Get ready to experience the transformation for yourself, because now it's your time to see it, feel it, live it.
This is